Hello and welcome to the lecture of coordination chemistry. In the previous class, we have talked about the classification of ligand. So we are discussing about the classification of ligand, and we have classified ligand on the basis of charge. We have classified anionic, cationic, and neutral on the basis of nature. On the basis of nature, first we have talked about organic and inorganic, and again on the basis of nature we have talked about hard and soft. We have talked about charge density. Then on the basis of bonding pattern we have talked about classification of ligand on the basis of bonding pattern, and there we talked about 5 things: sigma donor plus weak pi donor, sigma donor plus strong pi donor, then sigma donor plus pi acceptor, and then pi donor and pi acceptor. So this we are discussing in the previous class, and there we have told that on the basis of denticity also we can classify ligand. So on the basis of denticity we can also classify ligands. Now the question is, what is denticity? So now let's talk about denticity here. So what is denticity? Now denticity refers to the number of donor sites. Denticity refers to the number of donor sites that is coordinated with the central atom in a coordination compound. Fine. So denticity refers to the number of donor sites that is coordinated with the central atom in a coordination compound. Fine. So please note here that denticity is not the number of donor site. Denticity is the number of donor site that is coordinated with the central atom in a coordination compound. That is denticity. Fine. Now denticity, in denticity all atoms of the ligand are connected with central atom. All the atoms are connected with the central atom, but all atoms are not coordinated. All atoms are not coordinated with central atom. That means some atoms are coordinated with the central atom and some are not coordinated, but all atoms are connected. Fine. Now when I say some atoms are coordinated, so the coordinated atoms are generally non-contiguous. Now these things will be clear to you when I will give example. So coordinated atoms are non-contiguous. Fine. So let's take the example. It will be clear to you. Now let's take the example of denticity. Now NH3 is there, so there is one lone pair. That means number of donor site that can be attached to the metal center is 1. So number of donor site that can be attached with the central atom is 1. That means this is, so it can attach with the metal with only one donor site. That means it is monodentate. Only or you can say denticity is equal to 1. Denticity is equal to 1. Right? Now you take the example CH2 CH2 NH2 NH2. Now in this ligand there are two donor sites, two N atoms, two lone pairs. Fine. Now this is the central metal atom and this central metal atom, so these two N atoms are coordinated with the central atom. That means here number of donor site is equal to 2. That means you can say denticity is equal to 2. That means there are two donor sites and the two donor sites are coordinated with the metal center. That means it is denticity. So there are two donor sites that are coordinated with the central atom, that we call as denticity. That means denticity is equal to 2. Fine. Now when I say all atoms are connected with the central atom but all atoms are not coordinated, then you see this CH2, this CH2 and this CH2, you can see these are connected with the central atom, but these CH2 are not directly coordinated with the metal center. This CH2 is not directly coordinated with the metal center, but this CH2 is connected with NH2 and this NH2 is coordinated with metal center. So what we can say, this CH2 and CH2 are connected, somehow connected with the metal center, but this CH2 and CH2, these are not coordinated with the metal center. That means not coordinated with the metal center. That means I have said in the previous slide that here you can see that all atoms are connected with the central atom but all are not coordinated. Fine. Now also I have said that the atoms which are the donor sites which are coordinated, that are non-contiguous in nature. That means you can see here that the NH2 NH2, these two donor sites are attached, are coordinated with the metal, but these two NH2 are not connected with each other through a bond. That means these two NH2 are non-contiguous atoms, non-contiguous atoms, and in denticity you can see that the non-contiguous atoms are coordinated, you can say connected and coordinated with the metal central metal atom. Fine. So this is denticity. Now let's talk about some important point regarding denticity. Fine. Some important point regarding denticity. Number one is, we do not generally take into account pi bond counting in denticity. We generally count sigma bond counting in denticity. So we generally take into account sigma bond counting but not pi bond counting. That means we generally count sigma bond and not pi bond. What do I mean by that? Now take the example of NH3 and H2. It will be clear to you. Now in NH3 there is one donor atom, one donor site, one donor site. And that donor site can be coordinated with the metal center. That means denticity is equal to 1. Now in H2O there are two lone pairs. There are two lone pairs. That means you can say that there is a chance that denticity is equal to 2. But here also it is a monodentate ligand. Denticity is equal to 1, although it has two lone pair, but it is still denticity is equal to 1. What is the reason? Why? Because I have said here that we generally take into account the sigma 1 counting and not phi 1 counting in deciding the denticity. Now out of the two lone pair, so out of two lone pair present in H2O, one lone pair corresponds to sigma bonding and the other lone pair corresponds to pi bonding. Fine. So one lone pair corresponds to sigma bonding, other lone pair corresponds to pi bonding. And we have said in calculating the denticity, we generally take into account the sigma bond counting and not the pi bond counting. That means we will only take into account one lone pair which is associated with the sigma bonding. That means in case of H2, although it has two lone pair, but denticity will be equal to 1. That means the statement is we generally take into account sigma bond counting but not pi bond counting while deciding that denticity. Fine. Now the next important point regarding denticity. Now the next important point regarding denticity. Now the next important point regarding denticity is that denticity is decided by number of coordinating site and not by number of lone pair present. What I am saying, the another important point regarding denticity is decided by number of coordinating site and not by number of lone pair present. Now let's understand this with an example. You have N2H4, NH2, NH2. Fine. It has two donor sites, that means two lone pair present in NH2, NH2, in N2H4. That means if you say denticity is 2, then this is wrong. In NH2, NH2, it shows denticity equal to 1. That means it is a monodentate ligand. Now why? Because if this NH2, NH2 shows bidentate character, then what will happen? It will form a three-membered ring, which is not stable. This is not stable. That means if it is not stable, that means it will not show bidentate character. It will show monodentate character and it will be coordinated with a metal center with only one donor site like this, and this is stable. That means like that. Denticity is decided by number of coordinating site, and you cannot say that it is determined or decided by the number of lone pairs present. So this is also another important point regarding denticity. The denticity is decided by number of coordinating site and not by number of lone pair present, because here you see in NH2, NH2 there are two lone pairs, but denticity is not equal to 2. Denticity is equal to 1, because if it shows denticity is equal to 2, then the ring formed by it is not stable, and if it shows by denticity equal to 1, then the corresponding compound will be stable. Fine. Okay. Classify classification of ligand on the basis of denticity. Fine. So far we know what is denticity. Some example we have learned. Then we have also talked about some important point regarding denticity. Now we'll classify the ligand on the basis of denticity. Now generally we can classify ligand on the basis of denticity in two parts. One is monodentate ligand, and other one is polydentate ligand. Fine. Other one is polydentate ligand. Now monodentate ligand means there is only one single donor site that is coordinated with the metal center. That means single donor site that is coordinated with the central atom. That is monodentate ligand. That means denticity is equal to 1. Now polydentate ligand means there is more than one single donor site that is connected, that is coordinated with the central atom. And if the donor site is 2, then you can say bidentate. Fine. If the donor site is 3, then you can say tridentate. If the donor site is 4, like this, 5, 6, the tetradentate, pentadentate, and say hexadentate ligand. That means on the we have classified ligand on the basis of denticity. We have classified into two: monodentate ligand, polydentate ligand. Monodentate ligand means there is only one or single donor site that is coordinated with the central atom, that is monodentate ligand. And polydentate ligand means more than one donor site that is coordinated with the central atom. If the donor site is 2, then bidentate ligand. If 3, then tridentate. If 4, then tetradentate. If 5, then pentadentate. And if 6, then hexadentate ligand. Fine. Now we read examples of all these monodentate to hexadentate. Fine. Now let's take the example of all the monodentate ligand, bidentate ligand, tridentate ligand, tetradentate, pentadentate, and hexadentate ligand. So let's start with monodentate ligand. So monodentate ligand, you can say CO, PPH3, NET3, like this. Bidentate ligand, you can say ethylene diamine, 110 phenanthroline, then acetyl acetoneto, then for tridentate ligand, CH2, CH2, NH2, NH2, NH2. Fine. Now let's take the example of tetradentate ligand. Tetradentate ligand. So you take example of NH2, CH2, CH2, NH, then CH2, CH2, NH, CH2, CH2, NH2. Fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4 donor site. That means tetradentate. Then you can say the example of pentadentate. So NH2, CH2 whole 2, then NH, CH2 whole 2, then NH, then CH2 whole 2, then NH, then CH2 whole 2, and NH2. So 5 donor site: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Fine. Now let's take the example of hexadentate ligand. Now hexadentate is EDTA. The example of hexadentate ligand is EDTA. Fine. That means ethylene diamine tetraacetate. Fine. So like this, CH2 CH2 N and tetraacetate, that is CH2 C double bond O minus, CH2 C double bond O minus, CH2 C double bond O minus, CH2 C double bond O minus. That means denticity is 6 hexadentate. It means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 hexadentate. That means 2 neutral AN atoms and 4 negatively charged oxygen atoms. That means it is a tetrabasic hexadentate ligand, EDTA. Fine. So tetrabasic hexadentate ligand. Fine. So this is EDTA. So we have seen all the examples of monodentate, bidentate, tridentate, tetradentate, pentadentate and hexadentate ligands. And now we will talk about flexidentate ligand. So now flexidentate ligand. So what is flexidentate ligand? Now in case of, this is valid in case of polydentate ligand. In case of polydentate ligand, that means which the ligand which has more than one donor site. Then one donor site, that means it's a polydentate ligand. That means in case of polydentate ligand, what happens? All the available donor site may not take participate, may not take participate at a time. So all the available, so in case of polydentate ligand, all the available donor site may not necessarily take part at a time in metal ligand bonding or linkage, you can say. Fine. That means what I am saying, in case of polydentate ligand, that means which has more than one donor site, that means it can have 2 donor site or 3 donor site. So all the available donor site, whatever it is, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, all the available donor site may not take participate at a time in metal ligand bonding. That means it will not show, it may not show its full denticity character. That means suppose there is a polydentate ligand and it has denticity equal to 3. In all the cases, it will not show denticity equal to 3. In few cases it will show denticity equal to 3. In few cases it can show denticity equal to 2 also. So this kind of nature of the ligand, what we call as the flexidentate character of the ligand. That means, in simple words, if I say, if a ligand has more than one donor site, it can have 2 donor sites, 3, 4, 5 like this. Suppose a ligand has 3 donor site. Fine. That means maximum denticity it can show is 3. But in some cases it is showing denticity equal to 2. In some cases it is showing denticity equal to 3. That means this kind of character, the flexible character of showing denticity, in some cases it is 2, in some cases it is 3. This kind of character what we call as the flexidentate character of the ligand. So here I have written, in case of polydentate ligand, all the available donor site may not participate at a time in metal ligand bonding, in metal ligand coordination. Fine. In metal ligand bonding, or you can say in metal ligand coordination. Now this will be more clear to you when I will give you more example of flexidentate character of the ligand. Now let's take some example of flexidentate character of a ligand, then it will be more clear to you. So if you take the example of CO3 2 minus, NO3 minus, SO4 2 minus, then all these can show both monodentate as well as bidentate character. Mono plus bidentate character. Sometimes it shows monodentate character, sometimes it shows bidentate character, depending on the experimental condition. Fine. Now let's take these as example. CO3 2 minus example. So this is CO3 2 minus. Now this CO3 2 minus can show this bidentate character. That means with that both the 2O minus, it will be coordinated with the metal center. That means there is a 1, 2, 3, 4. If CO3 2 minus shows bidentate character, then a 4-membered chelate ring will be formed. Right? So a 4-membered chelate ring will be formed if CO3 2 minus shows bidentate character. Now the stability of this 4-membered chelate ring we have to check. Now this 4-membered chelate ring is stable only when this metal is a 4D or 5D metal. Is stable when the metal is a 4D or a 5D metal. Fine. But this 4-membered chelate ring is not stable. Is not stable if this metal center is a 3D metal. Fine. That means if this metal center is a 3D metal, in that case CO3 2 minus will show monodentate character. Fine. In that case the CO3 2 minus will show monodentate character. But if this metal center is a 4D or 5D metal, in that case the formed 4-membered chelate ring will be stable and CO3 2 minus will show bidentate character. That means depending on the experimental condition, depending on the stability of the chelate ring, this kind of ligand can show either monodentate or bidentate character. That means here stability of the chelate ring will determine the denticity. That means denticity is not fixed in this kind of ligands. This nature what we call as flexidentate character of the ligand. Now let's take a real example of this stability of 4-membered chelate ring. Now if you take the example of, let's say, cobalt NO3 whole 6 3 minus and cerium NO3 whole 6 3 minus. Now NO3 minus, I have earlier told you that NO3 minus ligand can show monodentate as well as bidentate character. That means it is a flexidentate ligand. That means it can show monodentate as well as it can show bidentate character. Fine. Now cobalt, what it is? It is a element of 3D series. Fine. That means I have told you earlier that CO3 minus, NO3 minus, SO4 minus, this kind of ligand so if you see, so if this is cobalt, that means it is a 3D series element, then this 4-member chelate ring is not stable. That means in this compound the NO3 minus will act as monodentate ligand. It will not show bidentate character. It will act as monodentate character. But cerium, Ce is a 5D element. And because of 5D element, if you see, then if it is cerium 5D element, then this 4-member chelate ring is stable. That means NO3 minus in this case can show bidentate character. Fine. That means if you are asked in the examination that in this compound what is the coordination number of the cobalt, then the coordination number will be 6 because NO3 is a monodentate ligand. NO3 is showing monodentate character here. But in this case the coordination number of cerium, if you are asked, then it will be 6 into 2, that is 12, because there are 6 NO3 minus ligand, but NO3 minus here acts as a bidentate character. Fine. That means the coordination number will be 6 into 2, that is 12. Fine. Now let's take another example of flexidentate character of a ligand, and it will be more clear to you again. So if this is cobalt, then this is CO3 and this is NH3 whole 4 plus this is a compound, this is a complex, and another one you take, so cobalt CO3 NH3 whole 5 plus. Now cobalt is a 3D element, is element of 3D series. Fine. Now element of 3D series, that means it generally shows coordination number equal to 6. That means it generally show coordination number equal to 6. Now in this compound you see there are 4 NH3 attached with the central metal atom. That means 4 NH3, that means coordination number 4. Now cobalt is a 3D series element, that means generally shows coordination number 6. So to make coordination number 6, this CO3 will act as bidentate ligand. Fine. So to make coordination number 6, this will act as bidentate character. Now here also cobalt, it is a 3D series element, that means it will generally show coordination number equal to 6. Now here there are 5 NH3 atoms, that means coordination number equal to 5. So to make coordination number 6 of cobalt, this CO3 minus ligand will here act as a monodentate ligand and not as bidentate ligand. So it will act as monodentate ligand. So you see in the previous case, stability of the chelate ring was deciding the denticity of the ligand. That means denticity was not fixed. Denticity, so that kind of character what you call as flexidentate character of the ligand. Here also you see CO3 minus ligand. To make coordination number 6, in one case it is showing bidentate character, in another case it is showing monodentate character. That means CO3 minus is a flexidentate ligand. So this kind of character where denticity is not fixed, denticity changes depending on the experimental condition, what we call as flexidentate character of the ligand. Fine. Now if you take another example of EDTA, then say EDTA maximum denticity it can show is 6, but not always it will show 6. It can show less than 6 also. If you see M EDTA 2 minus, M is calcium, magnesium, you can say. In this case, denticity is equal to 6. EDTA will show maximum denticity, that is 6. But at lower pH, M H2 EDTA, where M can be PD, PT, like this. In this case, denticity is equal to 4. That means what happens? That means denticity also depends on pH. Now what happens at lower pH? Some of the donor sites of the EDTA gets protonated. Now when it gets protonated, that means it now cannot donate. That means the number of donor sites that can coordinate with the metal center now reduced. That means EDTA at lower pH can show denticity equal to 4. So this kind of character of the ligand, where sometimes it is showing one kind of denticity, another time it can show another kind of denticity depending on the experimental condition, is what we call flexidentate character of the ligand. Fine. Now we will talk about ambidentate ligand. So now we will talk about ambidentate ligand. Fine. Okay. So ambidentate ligand. Now suppose there is a ligand which has more than one donor site. So which has more than one donor site or binding site. But all the donor site, all the binding site cannot operate at a time. That means simultaneously. That means if there is a ligand which has more than one binding site, but all the binding sites cannot operate simultaneously to coordinate with the metal center. That kind of ligand what we call as ambidentate ligand. So what is ambidentate ligand? Suppose there is a ligand which has more than one binding site, but all the binding sites cannot operate simultaneously to coordinate with the metal center. If you take the example of Cn-, then it will be clear to you. So if you take the example of Cn- ligand, when it coordinates with the metal center, then either it can coordinate through the carbon center, that means through cyanide form, or through isocyanide form, that means through nitrogen center. That means Cn- is a ligand, you can see. So Cn- is a ligand which has more than one donor or binding site. That means it can bind with the metal center through carbon center also, through nitrogen center also. It has more than one binding site, but all the binding sites cannot operate simultaneously to coordinate with the metal center. That means if I am saying this is C, this is N, in a particular complex, this N is attached with metal center and this is also attached with metal center, this will not happen. That means although Cn- can coordinate with the metal center through carbon center, through nitrogen center, but simultaneously at a time it will interact, it will coordinate with the metal center through only one center, either with carbon center or with nitrogen center. Fine. Now another example you can take that NO2-, that means if you take, then this is NO2-. Now this NO2- can coordinate with the metal center through nitrogen center, or this NO2 can also coordinate with the metal center through oxygen. That means NO2- can coordinate with the metal center either through nitrogen center or through oxygen center, but at a particular complex it will not be coordinated with the metal center by both nitrogen and oxygen. That means although NO2 minus has two atoms which can coordinate with the metal center, that means either nitrogen or it has nitrogen and oxygen, but in a particular complex it will either coordinate through nitrogen or oxygen. This kind of ligand what we call as ambidentate ligand. Fine. Now another example of ambidentate ligand, you can take thiocyanate and isothiocyanate. So MSCN, MNCS or M-seleno ligand, MSCN or MNC selenium, like this. These are all ambidentate ligand, and ambidentate ligand generally produce linkage isomerism. So you can say ambidentate ligand generally produces linkage isomerism. Fine. Okay, so in this lecture, if we summarize what we have today read, that what we are doing, we are classifying the ligand on the basis of denticity. So first we have talked about what is denticity. Now then we have talked about important points regarding denticity. Then we have classified denticity as monodentate and polydentate ligand. Then we have talked about flexidentate character of the ligand. Then at the last we have talked about the ambidentate character of the ligand which can produce linkage isomerism. So that's it for today's lecture.